Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminally, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today it's time to get stabby. I'm going to talk about all the books I'm going to be reading for Giallo July. So Giallo July, if you don't know, is a fantastic new reading and watching event created by three of my favourite channels. Those channels being The Bookubus, Pastori Time and Slime and Slashers. So I will explain in a minute what the term Giallo means in case you don't know already. But before I do that, let me talk to you about my reading plans for July more generally. So a while ago I said I was going to try and limit the number of books I put into my TBR each month. I've almost managed that for July. I think I've got kind of 10 or 11 books. So that's kind of at the upper limit of what I said I would allow myself. But yeah, I'm really into the idea of this Giallo July event, and I've got a load of things I want to read for that. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a break this month. So I'm going to be also going to be taking part in another event then. So that other event is the Coltons of Summer. So that is a category romance reading event being hosted by Sarah from the channel The Bookish Knitter. So the Colton series is like a series of series. So there are a number of different Colton series, all published by Harlequin in the States and Milne in the UK. So these are romantic suspense novels, and I was trying to think about how to describe what the romantic suspense subgenre is all about. And the easiest way to describe it is to say, think of the movie The Bodyguard. So The Bodyguard is like a classic romantic suspense kind of a story, and there are absolutely hundreds, if not thousands, of romantic suspense novels published by Milne/Harlequin. Probably the most popular series within that subgenre are the Coltons series, and we are reading the Coltons of Montana series for this event that Sarah has organised. So we're doing it over 3 months. This is the second month. So the two books we're reading this month, both of which have fantastic Harlequin style titles. So the first of those is The Librarian's Secret Scandal by Jennifer Morey, and the second is Dr. Colton's High Stakes Fiancee by Cindy Dees. So I've got them both in this lovely Milne double. I was very lucky that all 6 of the books are available in 3 Milne doubles. So yeah, I've really enjoyed the books we read in June and looking forward to reading some more of them in July. So that's the other event I'm taking part in. Also doing a group read. So every month we have the Criminally Book Club for my patrons and channel members. Should you want to sign up for my Patreon or my YouTube channel membership, there's a link in the description to the video where you can find all the information. So my patrons and channel members choose a book each month. They vote on it. This month we're going to be reading Recursion by Blake Crouch. So I've read a few Blake Crouch books over the years. He started out writing kind of horror and has drifted into more of a kind of sci-fi thriller style of things, particularly I think because his book Dark Matter was hugely successful. It's now been turned into a TV series on Apple, I think. So yeah, I really enjoyed Dark Matter. Really looking forward to reading Recursion and seeing what it's all about. But yeah, another kind of sci-fi thriller, I think. And then we'll also be doing in my continuing set of buddy reads with Anne from the channel Anne Novella, where we're reading all of Patricia Highsmith's novels. This month's book is Found in the Street, which I think it's her penultimate novel. There might be 2 more after this, or this might be there may only be 1 more. So we're nearly at the end now. So this one, I believe, is about someone who finds someone else's wallet in the street, which is a great kind of Highsmithian setup. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it feels like a good kicking off point for a Patricia Highsmith book. So that's the stuff I'm going to be reading outside of Giallo July, and in fact I'm cheating a bit because that Patricia Highsmith book also ticks off one of the prompts for Giallo July. But before I get into Giallo July, let me show you my fantastic Giallo July t-shirt. So I think they've done a great job with the design of this. So yeah, I had to grab myself one of those. So let me explain what a Giallo is then. So I think nowadays the term is most associated with the style of film. So this is a style of film that was kind of popularised in Italy in particular in the 70s, a kind of very stylish horror suspense kind of film, often with a kind of masked, gloved killer going around bumping people off. The most famous director kind of associated with the Giallo genre is Dario Argento, who made movies like Suspiria and Deep Red, so a very prolific, well-known Italian director. But the term Giallo originally comes from a style of book like the one I showed you in the intro to this video. So here we go. This is a book from the Giallo Mondadori line. So Giallo literally means yellow in Italy, in Italian. And Mondadori published, starting in the 40s and continuing for decades, loads of kind of mystery and suspense novels using this kind of yellow covered format. So it's actually more like a magazine than a book. It's kind of slightly floppy, and it has got like adverts in it and things like that. As you can see, and the print is in double columns, so it's much more like a magazine style of publishing than a book, but it's kind of like the Italian equivalent of the Penguin green spine crime books. So I picked up, for Giallo July, I can't read it because I don't read Italian, but I picked up this Giallo edition of one of the 87th Precinct novels, my favourite series of novels of all time by Ed McBain. So yeah, I enjoy having this in my possession, even if I can't read it. So what other books am I going to be reading then? So as I said, the Patricia Highsmith book ticks off one of the prompts. So there are 4 prompts for Giallo July. Those are firstly Giallo, so just read a book with yellow on the cover. The second one is All the Colours of the Dark, so read a book with a colour in the title. The third one is the Red Queen Kills 7 Times, so read a book with a violent word in the title. And then the final one is The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, so read a book with an animal in the title or on the cover. So Found in the Street has a dog on the cover, so that works for that prompt. For the other prompts then, I'm going to be reading, I've got a few books with yellow on the cover, and this has given me an opportunity to read a few older, like Golden Age mystery novels that I've wanted to read for ages. So a couple of those, so the first 2 of those let me talk about are firstly The Angel of Terror by Edgar Wallace. So Edgar Wallace is someone who is one of those authors who was hugely successful in his day. Mondadori published loads of his books in the Giallo line, and he's someone I've always wanted to read and just never got round to. So The Angel of Terror looks like a good one. It was definitely published as a Giallo. I've checked that. So yeah, that's one I'm definitely going to read and works for that yellow on the cover prompt. I'm also going to be reading a book called The Red House Mystery, so that works for the All the Colours of the Dark prompt. Now this is a British mystery from the Golden Age, which is supposed to be fantastic, supposed to be really good, but the thing that's particularly interesting about it is that it was written by A.E. Milne. So written by A.E. Milne, creator of Winnie the Pooh, was published by Mondadori in Italy in their Giallo line. So yes, A.E. Milne, the creator of Winnie the Pooh, also wrote a Giallo, which I think is a fantastic obscure fact. Definitely a kind of pub quiz question. So yeah, really looking forward to reading that one. It's supposed to be a really solid and enjoyable mystery. Next up then, another book with yellow on the cover, Queenpin by Megan Abbott. So this was a recommendation from Bert from Pastory Time in his Giallo July announcement video. I've read a few Megan Abbott books over the years, really enjoyed all of them, so looking forward to reading this one. And then next I have a book that was sent to me by the author very recently, and Alex from the channel The Bookkeepers, another one of the hosts, raved about this book in a recent video. So she read it recently, really enjoyed it, and it's perfect for Giallo July. So that book is Letters to the Purple Satin Killer by Joshua Chaplinksy. So that will also cover off the Red Queen Kills 7 Times prompt, because it's got a violent word in the title. I've also got another book with yellow on the cover. So this one was sent to me by the author, Tom Mead. So this is the third in his series of books, which are kind of Golden Age style mysteries featuring a stage magician as one of the detectives. I've really enjoyed the other 2. I talked about both of them on the channel. They're just fantastically enjoyable, intricate mysteries. So yeah, this one, Cabaret Macabre, is the third one. It comes out soon. So yeah, really looking forward to giving that one a read. And then finally, another book that was published as part of the Giallo line by Mondadori, but this English edition also has yellow on the cover, so it kind of works doubly. That is Too Many Clients by Rex Stout, one of the Nero Wolfe mysteries. So I've always wanted to read a Nero Wolfe mystery, never got round to it, so this gives me a good excuse to dip in and read one of those. So I will be trying to watch some Giallo movies as well during the month. We'll see how I got on with that, but I will report back in my weekly wrap-ups and let you know how I've done. So yes, that's everything I'll be reading for Giallo July. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be taking part in that event, or indeed in the Coltons of Summer event. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.